everyone.
Hey!
We've been on the moon for a while now, but we've adjusted to the anti-gravity. Hey, welcome back to
MPL Insider.
With Tim
and Emily.
Hey, here we are. We've been gone for a while. Before we get into the meat of why we've been gone for a while, and you'll see why I use the word meat in just a second. Thank you. I just wanted to point something out, just one that Emily brought up, in case anyone else is worried about this. Emily had nothing to do with the creation of this poster. I mean, it does showcase our guests very nicely today, but if you look here in the text box, in the gold, the yellow box, it is very, very off-center. Emily...
I created the template of the poster.
She did.
I did not enter in the information.
I ruined the template of the poster.
It looks like he slapped it in there, and it sounds like he did.
I did.
Yeah.
I just slapped it. I slapped it,
wow.
And did I spell Manitowoc right? I did. Okay, well, that's okay. I at least have that going for. So, but at any rate, I apologize to everyone in the world. I did not mean to ruin Emily's wonderful poster. I'm sorry, Emily.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm glad you can forgive me, because we're going to segue immediately, since you forgive me, we'll segue right into this. So the question is really, where the heck have we been?
Well, we took a little break.
We did take a little break, and it wasn't because necessarily we wanted to take a little break.
Unexpected.
It was a little longer than I think anyone expected, because we didn't expect to take a break at all.
No, I mean, the last time you guys would have seen us would have been in June.
Right. And granted, moving operations to Moonbase Tim and Emily.
That's really why we've been gone.
It took us a while longer than we thought, but also in the interim, there was a problem that Emily encountered. And I'll just let Emily, I'll pretty much let you do most of the talking here.
Yeah. On my last day of vacation over the 4th of July, it also happened to be my son's 3rd birthday. We were all playing in the backyard, and my black lab, he just set his sights on me and took me down.
Are we referring to this black lab?
That would be the one, Norman. He's kind of a sassy guy. Yeah, he was running full force. He had the zoomies, and I got in his way. Like, I want to, let people know, he did not viciously attack me.
That you know of.
Well, yeah.
Because before you go any further, well,
yeah.
no, keep going.
No, you keep going.
Well, no, because Emily pointed something out to me. She was watching old episodes, and our May episode, when we were talking about the summer reading program, Emily brought up that it was only a matter of time before Norman took her out.
I said, yeah, I basically foreshadowed. I said, he will plow right through you. You are just an object. He doesn't care.
Yeah, you're an obstacle.
If you're in his way.
In the way to where he wants to go.
Object, yeah.
Well, so, both, yeah. Same thing.
So, yeah, and I apparently foreshadowed this incident. But, yeah, so he took me down, and the impact on my leg fractured my tibial plateau. So like right where it meets the top of your knee, it was just like all jagged and cracked. And I caught my fall on my wrist, breaking my wrist, which required me to have surgeries on both of them, and just put me out for 3 to 4 months.
I mean, you've just gotten back to the library,
yeah,
like
what?
The
last couple weeks, yeah.
3 weeks ago is when she finally got back.
Yeah.
Now, after this happened, Emily was part of the group that put the Bruin Bee together. Mm-hmm. And obviously she couldn't be a part of that when we were at PetScout. But she showed up, and that was like 3 weeks into your process. You hadn't had the surgery. They were still waiting for the swelling to completely come down and everything. And I was really concerned already that you were going to lose your mind by not doing anything, because you seemed so happy to be out.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was so nice until Tim told the entire crowd that I was viciously mauled by my dog.
I don't believe I said viciously mauled. I did use the unfortunate word choice.
But the people next to me were like, did your dog really attack you?
I did say she was attacked by her dog.
Yeah, I'm like, not like not attack me, but tackled me.
I should have said flipped. I'll admit that I should have said flipped, but I didn't.
Yeah.
And
my husband said he heard the pop of I don't know if it was my ankle or my knee, or I mean, not my ankle, my wrist or my knee from 60 yards away.
When you landed?
Yeah.
I
flipped into the air.
Well, and then you texted me shortly after this when you were in the emergency room, and I expected the typical text, oh
last
boy,
day of vacation.
Last day of vacation, that we're going to have a bad case of the Mondays.
Yeah.
That you're going to be Kathy or Garfield, and instead you're like, hey, I'm in the emergency room.
I was like,
out. What? And yeah, it was unexpected, but should we show the people the aftermath? I should mention, today is the first day that I've seen Emily not in a wheelchair or not with any braces on either her leg or her arm.
We're testing it out.
Yeah.
Yep.
How's it going so far today?
It's going because I really haven't been walking. So
well,
it might be different if I was walking.
So if anyone is sensitive to these sort of things, look away. Also wanted to mention anyone who is following along and wants to ask questions for us, of us about anything about Emily's ordeal or of our guests that are coming up momentarily, just put them into the comments box on either Facebook page or YouTube. Mm-hmm. So shall we look at the what happened, the surgery?
Yes, viewer discretion advised.
Viewer discretion advised. All right, here's the first slide. Now look at the cute dog and go to your happy place, because that is Emily's leg.
That was after I had all the staples removed from my leg. So there was 2 incisions. So I've got a lot of hardware in my leg now that will just stay there forever unless it starts to bother me. But I've got a lot of screws in plates.
How many staples did you have in there?
I had, I think, over 30.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, which it wasn't bad getting the staples removed. Getting the pins removed from my wrist was pretty awful.
Oh yeah. Well, that's our next picture. Yeah. You can talk about that.
The next one's worse.
Well, let's go to the next picture, and fans of The Walking Dead should like this next picture. This is Emily's arm.
Now, it's just prior to getting the pins removed. And
yeah, you can still see the pins there.
Yeah, the purple marks is like where the pin went down. One of the pins was like 7 inches long, and my skin had gotten all like scaly and like peely because I had a brace, like kind of a cast type thing on it.
Yeah.
So like my hand had gotten, and my arm had gotten no moisture or air for months. So
I bet it smelled pretty great.
That actually wasn't terrible. It was just it looked so gross.
Well,
yeah.
And so tell them about taking the pins out.
Well, I mean, I was told that they would come out like butter. They're like, oh, it'll be, and I mean, I guess maybe I didn't know what to expect, but I could feel them like twisting on it to like loosen them up because they had kind of pushed far back, and yeah, it was, and then I could just feel the entire length of the pin coming out. They let me keep the pins as a souvenir.
Oh,
yeah,
that is pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess it's time to move on. We've gotten an indication that maybe it's time to move on from one of our guests. One of our guests. So let's do that. Let's take that out. And we're back safely.
Looks much better now.
Look at
scarring.
Although I'm going to bring it back in, you can see, put your arm back up.
Oh my God.
You can see where the pins were.
Oh, it's hard to.
Okay, I'll take it out and then we can show again. Show your arm again.
I can't turn it that well yet.
Well, it's easier on the moon than it would be on Earth.
That's
so to move away completely from the gruesome, let's bring our guests into the mix. And Emily, would you like to announce our guests today?
Yes. Our guests are Barb Bundy-Jost and Jordan. I found out I've been saying his last name wrong.
How were you saying his name?
I think I was always saying it as Kabat.
Oh, he loves that. He absolutely loves that.
Tim informed me that was not right when we were on the radio. I didn't say it on the radio, but I found out beforehand. Kabat?
That is correct.
Yes.
Jordan Kabat, not Kabat.
That's it.
Sorry,
you got it.
So wait, you didn't like those pictures per se?
No.
I've seen worse. I wasn't
yes, in the grand scheme of things, it could have been worse.
What worse things have you seen?
Listen, I'm a mother. I've given birth, and that is not.
And if anyone wants to hear a little bit more about that, go to See Hey for News and read Barb Bundy-Jost's article about the Evergleams, where she incorporates the birthing process of many a thing into 548 words.
This is a creative process. Do remember that when you are reading.
Yes. So, Jordan and Barb are here today, not necessarily to talk about birth or the grossness of pictures, but they are here. Well, who knows, maybe. But we are here to talk about all things Evergleam, because these two people are on the board of directors for the Manitowoc Aluminum Kitsch-Mas Inc, and they are part of the Gleam team that bring Evergleams on 8th to downtown Manitowoc, the Enchanted Evergleam Forest to Manitowoc Public Library, which is personally my favorite time of the year at the library. It is just absolutely beautiful, and it started getting put up today, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
14
we
trees
this morning.
14 trees were up, and it does add a little sparkle to your environment here. I mean, every year when we put it up, I just feel like the place comes alive.
Oh yeah.
And, so it's great fun. And the children today, many children wanted to run and touch. Thou shalt not touch, but you can look with your eyes. And
some of them were very good. They were
very good.
A couple that had good.
And,
what's the breakdown? What would you say the breakdown?
We get excited.
2 out of 6.
Yeah.
2 out of 6 were good?
Yeah.
A third. That's not bad.
Their parents are probably watching this episode right now. How dare you?
Eileen, did you touch those trees? So before we get into this, I've known Barb quite a while, and I've known Jordan for a little bit. Barb, why don't you start off and tell us a little bit about yourself for people that don't know, that are following along, and just a little bit, and like, what's your connection to the library? And
Okay. Well, I have been around for a while. I'm a born and raised Manitowoc girl. So I've been around for a long time. And I had a grandmother who had a 4-foot evergleam tree, probably a fountain. And she was very proud of that, festooning it with different color balls every year, surprising us, red, yellow, gold, blue. And I always loved that tree. And my mom was one of those people that said, no, we're going out in the woods and we're going to cut one down, which my cold didn't care for that at all. I don't like that. So how did I get involved in this? It was a pink tree. I fell in love with a big pink tree. And in 2003, I purchased an 8-foot pink tree. And then it just snowballed into a collection. I have known you, Tim, since my days at Madison School, teaching art to the wee people. And I think even before that, I probably knew you as a substitute teacher when you were in the classroom. And
you did. You were my substitute.
Emily knows me because Emily was in my class at Lincoln High School.
You were my substitute teacher.
Yeah. I've been around for a while. I mean, I'm like a bad penny. I keep turning up. But
and
then
how are you? Keep going.
We got involved here at the library because we couldn't find a format that would allow a forest to be seen. And every venue we tried had such a limited time. And we really wanted this to be up through the holiday. And I think it was Kristen, your former director, worked with you and me, and we decided this was the best place, get the most bang for your buck. I mean, everybody comes to the library from all parts of life, and we can have this wonderful display up from the night of the Christmas parade through the first Sunday in January. And this is just, and your windows and lighting up the place, it just is marvelous. And now that we have two-way traffic, coming down A Street is just beautiful. And then if you're across the river, that wonderful reflection, it's just a wonderful, wonderful place to be. And we're real happy to be here. And that the fact that you let us run wild and free, getting this and that, and putting it all together.
These are in Jan.
Yeah, and then Jordan was working here, I think, when we started.
Well, let's let Jordan tell his story.
Yeah.
I mean, since he's here. Jordan.
Well,
Jordan.
since I'm here,
First off, your hair looks great.
It always does, though.
Always.
Ever since your days at the library, it's magnificent.
Oh.
what can I say?
How do you do it?
I wash it.
Oh,
Thank you.
I will take that under
Is
advisement.
there a blow dryer involved for that volume?
No.
What? Oh my
No.
God.
I brush my hair when I get out of the shower. I towel it off. I brush it with a brush. I put just like a little bit of product in it that holds it in place, but otherwise it's just my hair.
Born with it.
You were just born this way.
Yep. Maybe
Jealous.
she's born with it. So
Maybe it's Maybelline.
I was working at the library when all of this Evergleam nonsense that we do started. I shouldn't say nonsense. It's absolutely marvelous. I moved back to the area in 2017. Before that, I was living in Boston. But I would come home, like when I was on break from school and stuff. So around the holidays, I would come home and I started to see, 2015, 2016, even a little earlier than that, I think, I started to notice these trees cropping up in the business windows downtown. And, so then getting a greater awareness of these things and seeing them again, I remembered that my family always had aluminum trees, from the time that I was a wee lad. And my grandmother had just a tiny little tree that she always put out. And it sort of disappeared for a time, and it made me want to dig it out and go find it, and I did. And that's kind of what sparked my interest. So I found out later that my grandmother worked for Aluminum Specialty. She worked on the tree line making these things.
Wow.
And, so as I became more and more interested, and I found out that there were colored trees, I love gold. I love everything gold. And I found out that there were gold Evergleams. I had to have one. And so for my 30th birthday, she tracked one down from a friend of hers that worked at Aluminum Specialty and gave that to me for my birthday. And it's just been a slippery slope since. I've just acquired a lot of trees and become increasingly involved in the event. And it's great fun working with other people, all the other tree nuts that, that love the aluminum trees, and we have a great time together. So it's good.
I mean, it's amazing. I remember I was picking my daughter up at O'Hare, and I was watching a live stream of Barb doing the first Sparkle lecture that she ever gave, and it was up in the Balkansky room, and it was decently populated, but I'm like, I don't know, why isn't this by the trees, and why aren't there like a billion people there, and I'm glad, I'm really proud to have been involved with this, even though I'm not nearly on the level that you guys are, not even close. I mean, like, I'm like 1-2% compared to what you guys do, but I'm really happy to have been part of helping it to grow, and the number of people that come here. I mean, I stay after work. I'll make myself stay longer just so I can be alone with the trees at the end of the night, because it is really the best thing. Yeah. And when they go away, I'm genuinely sad.
I know. That's what we were saying on the radio. It's like, in January when they get taken down, I think all the staff kind of go into a little bit of a depression, because it's like
seasonal affect.
It's such a wonderful thing to have, and it's like a mood lifter, and yeah.
Well, I always say one tree is pretty spectacular, but a forest of them is out of this world.
It's magical.
On the moon.
It really is. I know. It takes me a while. It takes us a bit longer to get there to see the trees now, but we've got it down to pretty good science, so we can do it. And I also want to point out that Jordan is also one of the key people in the Bruin Bee. Not just this, but he is the judgiest judge in the Bruin Bee. And I was also part of creating with Jordan an award-winning short film for the self-checkouts at the library.
Yeah, whatever happened to that? I haven't. Do you guys use that for anything?
No, we should use it again. I should have uploaded it so I could have played it, but I didn't think to upload it. No, it would take too long to do it. But thank you. I'm going to switch back to everyone being just on camera together, and so. Great general overview. Should we get into the specifics of the programs that you're presenting?
Sure.
At the library? Okay, so I was tempted to bring Emily's arm up as the first picture, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that.
Thank you. Thank you for.
You're welcome, Jordan. I appreciate your candor. And so we have talked to a degree already about the Enchanted Evergleams at MPL. They're on display from November 22nd through January 7th. That is the day of the holiday parade, correct?
Correct.
And
They'll be lit and ready to go to warm you that night, because it might be a little cooler than today on the 22nd.
I would imagine. I mean, it's 60 degrees. If it's that way. But is there anything else that you haven't said already that you would like to let people know about the Enchanted Evergleams here? And it's just one of the stops on Evergleams on 8th, too.
Right. Well, there are probably well over almost 41, maybe 40 businesses have signed on and sponsored us. But I mean, there will be a map available so you can walk around the downtown area. Jordan and I did that last night after putting up trees at Visit Manitowoc. And just check the lights out, do a little check, make sure everything's illuminated. And it is kind of spectacular and fun to see how everything glows at night. I think also, don't forget, we have a 14-foot tree that we didn't know existed until the pandemic hit us. And I was doing virtual presentations with the library Facebook page. And two ladies got a hold of us from Kansas and said, we have a 14-foot tree. And I'm thinking, well, you think it's an evergreen? Well, sure enough, it was a special order for a trade show. And we also have our 10-foot coming back. And every tree is going to be represented in Frankie's Forest. Every single tree except there's a blue-green and there is a burgundy blue tree that Fran doesn't have in her collection. I think there's one more that she was talking about today. Might be a frosty swirl.
It's the silver spruce, which no one has ever seen,
yes.
with downswept branches.
Yeah.
And she does not have a frosty true taper.
True taper, that's it.
Yeah, that's a pretty rare tree too.
Oh.
Otherwise, everything is going to be here, other than that blue-green and
the dual colors.
Blue. Yeah. So those are wonderful things. I mean, I think that anybody who has family here over the decades, like, I do, Jordan's grandmother working at Aluminum Specialty, that's one of the wonderful things of doing this display at the library. I can't tell you, every year there's somebody who comes in and says, my mother or my father or my grandmother.
Yeah.
There's so much connection here because, back when these trees were made in the 50s and 60s, this was a wonderful opportunity for mothers to work third shift, earn some extra money so they could really buy wonderful things for their children and really enjoy the holidays the way they dreamed a holiday should be enjoyed. And we have wonderful people who come back and tell us their stories. And I have to say, every time we do that interview, there's joy. It's such a happy conversation.
Yeah.
And so I don't want people to forget that this town had really commerce and all kinds of activity, and is just a delightful place to grow up and spend your life in. So we attempt to do that through this display. And I know that Fran and Steve are so happy to see people enjoying what they've been collecting and putting together. So
my mom worked on the line as well.
wow.
She paid her way through Silver Lake by working on the line.
Right.
Nice.
I mean, a lot of girls were in college and they'd come home because that work really happened late March through October. So they could make pretty good money during the summer and go back to school and maybe not have to worry about, the expense of education beyond high school. And
a weight loss program as well, because I can't imagine it was cool working in that factory in summer.
No, especially, you need hot glue to put those branches together and winding.
Yeah, the hot glue pots, and it was in an old army barracks, so I can't imagine it was air conditioned.
Oh man, that's wild. But I think it's what I love about the Evergleams is it is just an amazing combination of local history, local commerce, a really great feat of engineering that was created by a local person, and it's also now it's not dead. It's pop culture.
You bet.
That was made here that is spread around the world. Not just around the country, but also in the name of just moving on, because I know people have got to have appointments to do other things than listen to us, but and perhaps even go from the panel. But at the Enchanted Evergleams, you guys are setting up photo op areas also, correct?
Sure. We have a living room area. I encourage people to dress retro. Come on in. There is a spot that you could sit down. The trees are behind you. You can go back in time to, it's my mother-in-law's sofa. I'm sure it's from the 60s. And enjoy that. We have all kinds of accessories that are fun to harvest from here, there, and everywhere. We'll have another little spot where you can sit next to a vintage cardboard fireplace where Santa, if you lived in a ranch home that didn't have a fireplace, a lot of kids always assumed that Santa shot down the chimney and came out to bring the gifts. And if you didn't have a fireplace, how was the big guy going to get in there? So that little cardboard structure is
so that worked as a functional portal
you
for Santa.
Bet.
Oh yeah.
Any portal.
The things I don't know. And I know enough to live on the moon.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
So we'll have those opportunities. We have a lot of ephemera that we can share just to let people know what was happening through Miro, National Tinsel, and Aluminum Specialty. And we've been putting together fun banners to fly around so you can see the vintage photographs and advertising. I mean, there are a lot of things that are going to be available for you to just have some fun and go back in time and create some special moments and memories.
Awesome. And just a quick shout out to Manitowoc County Historical Society for putting some of their Miro artifacts on loan, just to help to add even more sparkle to the exhibition.
Their medallion wear is wonderful. Yeah. And fun.
We always appreciate having that stuff on display and having original packaging along with that. A lot of the time that stuff is lost. So it's great to see that.
And Jordan's been shopping. He came across a cookware set that has never been used. It's still in the package. That'll be featured.
Awesome.
Yeah.
From Aluminum Specialty.
Toys and things from Aluminum Specialty, in addition to the items from Miro. So we're going to have, a lot of the things that we've seen in the past in the display will be back, old favorites, but also some new, exciting, colorful things to look at this year too.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
I like that it evolves every year. It evolves and changes. Are you going to be doing the bow maker at all at any point this year?
The bow machine may make an appearance.
Awesome. Let's not say any more than that. If you want to see the bow machine, show up at the library. Let's move on to the next slide, which is about the Sparkle lectures, which are done. One is in person this year on Thursday, December 7th at 6 p.m. And if you can't make it to that, or if you just want more sparkle in your life as you stay home, Thursday, December 14th, 1 week after, will be doing the virtual sparkle on Facebook, Manitowoc Public Library's Facebook page, and give us a Reader's Digest version of what people can expect with these 2 lectures.
It's pretty much just a historical overview of how all this happened. How did Manitowoc become this hub of aluminum trees, and how did that story lead here? I mean, it started in Chicago and it came to Manitowoc, and the rest is history. Also, I think that we cover the different trees, we cover the different iterations of that tree, and what's really nice is the Facebook Sparkle is involving people who worked at Aluminum Specialty during the heyday. That, you know, imagine Jordan brings his bow machine, but somebody did that for 8 hours every night making bows.
Wow.
I can't imagine. And so, you know, those are just wonderful things that it's always nice to hear the true perspective, because I wasn't there. Jordan certainly wasn't there. And I think that having people, right, Jordan?
I mean,
I was around, but I wasn't.
If you were around, Jordan, you look great.
I mean, you can't assume. I mean, come on.
Oh, I suppose I can't. You might be.
Are you a vampire?
Hey, anything's possible with me.
On live.
I can't ask that live. I mean,
can't.
Look at the hair. He could be a daywalker.
He's not that pale though. He's got kind of a nice glow.
Well, he's special because he sparkles. I think, you know.
Oh,
that's it.
Oh,
that's
like
it.
that. Okay.
I'm sorry. That's the only thing I know about the Twilight series is that one line. But and also a good reason to watch or show up also is to see what Barb and Jordan will be wearing.
Oh, yes.
They're as fabulous as the trees, and they know so much, and they look fantastic. And I'm not just saying that because they're here. I'd say that even if they weren't here.
Wow. Well, thank you, Tim.
I appreciate that. You know, being the original Barbie, it's always a wonderful time to just go out there and say, all right, we need the sparkle. Let's go shop. And I'm always loving that part.
Yeah. Yeah. and Barb, you did touch on it. The panel is great. Right. In the virtual sparkle on December 14th. I've heard someone describe it as a class reunion if the people that were coming back actually liked each other.
I think that's a perfect way to put it. And some of them didn't work at the same time, but they have this common, I don't know, happening in their life, and they all compare notes and laugh about things. And did you know this foreman? And how about that one? And so many fun stories. So many.
And they're amazed at something that they worked on for whatever reason, whether it was, you know, their main job or to like put themselves through school or whatever, that it's had this impact moving forward.
Well, I don't think anybody imagined that they'd be talking about that darn tree 60 years later.
Yeah.
And really celebrating it. I think many people worked hard to make those trees, and maybe they didn't appreciate how valuable they've become because they were work. They were work. And I remember before Jerry Wack, may he rest in peace, was with us 2 years ago. And I said, Jerry, did you ever imagine you'd be talking about this tree, 62 years later? And he said, never would I have imagined that this would be taking up my life like it is, because he became kind of the spokesperson for the Evergleam in those later years, which was, I think he had great fun.
I loved meeting him.
Yeah.
I feel so fortunate that I got to meet him.
What a nice man.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
What do you guys think kind of like caused this like resurgence of like interest in the trees?
Well, there's certainly the popularity of, mid-century modern aesthetic, particularly in my generation. I think, people my age are really into that. So that certainly feeds into it. Yeah. There's also the nostalgia factor for a lot of people. A lot of people in a generation ahead of mine, they're the ones who now are looking at these and they, they had parents or grandparents who had one of these trees and it disappeared, but they remember it from when they were kids.
Sure.
And want to have one again because it brings back those warm, fuzzy memories of, Christmas at grandma's house or whatever.
Yeah.
And, so that's, nostalgia can be a big motivator in acquiring things, certainly. So I think that's fed the frenzy now, the collecting frenzy. So
what are you talking about,
my
Jordan? What are you talking about?
I don't know.
Well, and they're beautiful.
I was going to say, oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I was going to say, speaking of collecting frenzy, would you guys share how many you guys own?
No.
Well, no, I shouldn't say that word out loud. I'll get in big trouble. I mean, my very first tree, I wouldn't tell anybody.
Rough estimate?
No.
All right.
More than my hands and toes, my fingers and toes together.
Okay.
Maybe my everything. Every orifice.
That's a starting
of
point.
the body.
What?
Never mind.
You have more trees than teeth.
Yes.
Ooh. I like this game, sort of. But as we have other things to touch on, we'll move on from this.
All right. Please do.
All right. And then one more. This is a new program this year that you guys are putting on, and it is called Paging Dr. Evergleam Code Silver. Tell us a little bit about this.
Jordan?
Well, in my experience, over the last several years of doing Evergleams on Eighth and collecting trees and talking to other people who collect trees, you handle enough of these things and you start to see common issues among them. They're 60-year-old, objects that have been assembled, disassembled many times, often stored in questionable environments like basements and attics, and so they've seen some wear and tear, and so you have issues that crop up. The needles get tarnished, the needles start to unwind from the branches, things get bent, the tree trunks, the paper, the foil covering comes off and goes missing, or you have a missing dowel pin that connects the two poles together. And so you start to, if you have trees, you start to come up with strategies. If you're like me and you're constantly thinking about how to fix things and put things back together again, you start to come up with these strategies and ideas about how to make your tree whole again and make it beautiful again. And so the number of trees that I've handled over, the last several years, I've done a lot of repair work and come up with a lot of different ideas and techniques about how to go about that and care for them. And so in doing all of that, then a lot of people will ask me, well, what should I do about this? What do I do about that? Particularly, at these sparkle events where we've got a big group of people and somebody comes out of the woodwork and they're like, well, I have this tree, but this is wrong with it and I wish I could do this with it or whatever. And they'll ask me what to do with it. So, the common problem that people have with these things, I know that there are a lot of individuals who want to know how to fix their trees and make them look good again and last for another 60 years. And so I'm happy to share what I've learned, over all of the time that I've spent repairing these things. It's kind of an obsession for me. So, and I really enjoy it, but I'm looking forward to sharing that with others.
And when will Dr. Evergleam be opening his clinic at the library?
When is that, Tim?
December.
That is, I can tell you, that is Saturday, December 2nd, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. You do need to go to the library website, to the events calendar. Just go to www.manitowoclibrary.org and just enter the events calendar, head to December 2nd, and you do need to register. So make an appointment with Dr. Evergleam. And as you can tell, I believe Nurse Sparkle will also be there. Is that correct?
Yes.
I mean, look at this picture. Why wouldn't you want to see such high-end, very experienced individuals? I mean, he has the mirror head element. You can tell he's good.
This is what happens when you like to find treasures. But I also think, speaking of treasures, getting an aluminum tree these days is an expensive investment.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what Jordan is going to cover is not only how to get yours up to speed, but how to preserve what you've got, what things you have to do to ensure that that tree goes on and on and on and looks as good as it can look for as long as you have that tree. So I think it's going to be a fun, interactive experience, and I'm looking forward to it.
So if you have any issues with your aluminum trees, things you need to address, head to the library's website and head towards the events calendar, December 2nd, register and get your appointment with Dr. Evergleam and the lovely Nurse Sparkle.
Oh, yes. We're quite a duet.
Oh, you sure are.
Yes.
That goes without saying. All right. Awesome. Well, just in the name of time, because I know that Jordan does have an appointment to get to. So I did want to thank you for all the information, by the way. Thank you for sharing your backgrounds, your love of the trees. It's obvious it comes out. It's a pleasure working with you guys in every capacity. And thank you so much for coming on the show today. But you're not done yet, because I need to tell you at this point. That's right. It's trivia time. There are 5 questions for you.
5.
They are all, Jordan, don't panic. They are all on the subject.
He's very worried.
Yeah, don't be worried. They're all either on the subject or adjacent to the aluminum trees.
Oh, well.
See, you were worried for nothing. You were holding your breath literally for nothing. Oh my God.
So yeah, there's 5 questions.
There are 5 questions.
You can get majority. So
if you get 3 out of 5, there is a prize associated.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
there is a prize.
Okay.
And you can consult with each other, or you can just blurt out the answers.
Yeah. You guys are working as a team, though.
All right. So,
so the first question. In A Charlie Brown Christmas, which color aluminum tree did Lucy instruct Charlie Brown to purchase?
Pink.
Pink.
Ding, ding, ding,
Ding, ding, ding, ding, ding. I should have brought the bell over. I have a bell in the room.
That's okay. I'll keep hand count.
All right. So that is correct. You are 2 correct answers away. Do you have a bell?
Oh, do you have the bell?
No, my laptop is going to go to sleep. So
Oh,
I'm grabbing
yeah.
the charger.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. Question number 2. What was the name of the Chicago-based company that originally manufactured aluminum trees?
Modern Coating.
Franklin. What?
What was
Jordan
that?
is correct.
Modern Coating. What?
Technically, it's Modern Coating Incorporated.
But we'll let you have
But we
it.
will allow that.
Modern Coating.
Your generosity. You're
Ding,
so
ding, ding,
kind.
ding, ding. All right.
All right, 2 out of 5.
2 out of 5.
Okay, third question. Between 1959 and 1963, approximately how many aluminum trees were manufactured in Manitowoc, Wisconsin?
Must have been about 1 million. Would you say 1 million? No, 63?
63.
1959 to 1963.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Million.
Around
I'm going to say
a
1
million.
million.
Sure.
Final answer.
Final.
Sure.
It was approximately 4 million.
Approximately 4
4
million.
million?
trees,
Oh,
which is amazing.
that is
All right.
amazing.
You have 2 more chances
Oh,
to win the valuable prize.
I'm getting
Wow.
for Clem.
Now listen, this is the most complicated one, just so you know. What did a 1937 issue of Popular Science recommend that readers use to make their natural trees appear to be, quote, fashioned of molten silver, end quote?
Did they flock them? Molten silver. 1939. Tinsel.
It has to be some kind of tinsel.
It's got to be tinsel.
Yeah.
You think they threw that tinsel on there from National Tinsel?
That is incorrect.
No!
The correct answer is aluminum paint applied with an insecticide spray gun.
Oh my God! How many people ended up in the hospital?
Exactly. I mean, these trees, they weren't only good looking and affordable, they saved lives.
Okay.
They saved lives. So that's what Popular Science was telling people to do in 1937, between the wars.
I'm going to try that this year.
All right.
I love that.
We'll visit you in the hospital.
Do it after.
I
All
even
right.
have
All
an
right, so we've got-
old-fashioned insecticide sprayer that I can use. So.
You have one more opportunity.
Yep. So
Here
all
you
right.
go. And this is for all the marbles. Emily, you faded from the picture. Oh, okay.
because I looked down.
Welcome back. All right.
From what material were the first American artificial trees made, and during what era did they appear?
The first artificial trees.
Feathers?
I would say feathers. German feather trees.
Feathers?
Popular.
But you're talking about American manufactured trees?
From what material were the first American artificial trees
Oh,
made,
American.
and during what era did they appear?
I'll say
19th century.
I'll give that. I'll give you have half of it. You have feathers is correct. They were dyed feathers.
What era?
During what era?
Late 19th century, or
Maybe in
maybe
the
Civil War.
1800s, don't you
Civil
think?
War era, yeah.
I'm gonna go with Barb. It's the mid 1800s. That is correct. Civil War era.
Wow. People's brains are amazing, aren't they? Just thinking
They
about
are.
it. You plucked a chicken and you thought, I'll make a tree out of this.
Oh, this will make a great Christmas tree.
Right?
There was nothing else to do except
Right.
pluck chickens and make fake trees
Wow.
at that point. So
Well,
I
let us present to you
as
your
such,
prizes.
we will bring this down to you. Your prize is
Oh,
Oh,
are we
God.
lucky?
an autographed picture of Tim and Emily. It says, "If your golden
in
chain of friend in your golden chain of friendship, consider us links."
Oh,
Isn't that adorable?
I
It
was
is
worried
somewhat.
we were going to get a signed photograph of Emily's leg.
Oh,
that's
would've
actually
been-
the next prize.
We can make that happen if you'd really like.
I'm good.
No,
So
I
you prefer
wouldn't.
the leg over the wrist?
Totally.
I wouldn't like that.
You would not like that? All right. Well, I
wouldn't
know
like
you,
any of that.
but let me say that we are very proud to have you both. Now, I know you probably think we're done with you yet, but we're not, because upcoming is... It's a show you think's going to end, but it never really does. So,
We're out here forever, aren't we? This is some
Yep.
kind of
Have we
purgatory.
sold our soul to somebody here?
that's what we were thinking of calling the show, some kind of purgatory.
Next
This
time
is
we'll do
like
our
a
background
circle of hell.
flames.
This is one of the first
But
circles of hell.
It's one of the best circle of hell. So we have 6 questions, and you can both answer them as you will. Emily will lead us off.
Okay, first question. How do we know you are not a robot?
Oh, I have great hair.
Oh, that is a very good answer.
I
That's,
don't.
Yeah,
yeah.
robots don't have hair this way.
that's absolutely true. I can't argue that. Barb, how do we know you're not a robot?
Well, do they have corrected vision? I don't think so.
All right.
Mm,
Bad
I
eyes
don't
and
know.
great hair.
Bad eyes and great hair.
All right. Second question. What song would make the best theme music for your life?
Oh, what song would be the best? Oh, it's got to be something by Frank Sinatra. I'm prone to say "Lady is a Tramp," but I don't think that.
With our discussion earlier, I don't know. That might be accurate. Uh-oh.
Where'd she go?
Where'd she go? Okay, Lady is a Tramp by Sinatra and Jordan.
I don't know.
Oh, come on. There's got to be a Michael Bublé or
It's
something.
not-
I don't know. I don't know
It doesn't
anything
have to
about.
stay this way forever,
I don't
Jordan.
know anything about music, so I.
Well, you can pick a song from the era of music that you study.
Don't you make music?
That's the joke. That's the joke.
Oh.
I don't know anything about music.
So
I
sophisticated.
used to tell all of my classmates I can't read music. I have no idea how to read music.
Is that true?
Even though I was getting a master's degree in composition.
Yeah, that would be weird.
Yeah,
if
I
you
can't
couldn't
read music. I can't read music.
Pick a song.
You hear music, pick a song.
Just the first one off the top of your head.
I don't know. Can we
Oh, I just
skip
saw
this?
Cat running.
Pressure.
I don't like being put on the
Under
spot. I don't
pressure.
know.
David Bowie. Boom, boom,
There we
boom,
go.
boom, boom, boom.
Under Pressure?
Oh, okay, sure, whatever.
I mean, it's a good song. All right.
I like that song.
Yeah.
All right, third question. If you could relive one day of your life, what would it be?
Oh. What would it be? Huh. That's a hard one because there are so many great days you want to relive.
But what's the greatest?
I think it's the first time I retired.
First time.
So many retirements ago.
I mean, that was so great because, oh my gosh, I'm not going to go back to work. And then I decided that maybe work wasn't that bad. I'll go back to work. But that was really kind of a great feeling. Wow, you've had a career and now you're free spirit.
Nice. Jordan.
Well, I get to relive the greatest day every year because it's the first day of setup week for Evergleams on 8th.
Wow.
It's an honest answer and a plug.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Yeah.
There we
You
go.
have fun. That's
All
what
right,
I'm
if
saying.
you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
One food for the rest of my life. I believe I don't mind a nice sea salt cashew.
Oh.
I would do that.
Hmm.
But if
I mean, you die of scurvy eventually, but
right,
until
if I
that
were
point.
going to sin, and it's nothing like bacon.
Oh,
Bacon.
yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Bacon,
no.
bacon and
really
sea salt
common.
cashews.
Yeah, bacon and cashews. Why? That could be more good, a bacon wrapped cashew.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I'm going to try that.
And Jordan?
I'm going to say tuna salad because there's so many different ways to make it. It's
That's a good
constantly
point.
evolving. So I can eat all kinds of stuff.
I
I just have to put it with
That
tuna.
Miro Jello tuna salad.
Mm,
Right?
That was delicious.
Lime
That
jello.
was Emily's leg.
Served on a plaster cast of Emily's leg.
Yeah.
Delightful.
Okay.
All right. Next question. If you suddenly became a giant, what would be your biggest inconvenience?
Buying shoes. Honest to God, how would I get some nice sparkling?
Well, I'm already giant in terms of height, and I hit
No,
my head
more-
on things all the time. So I think that's going to be
Hitting your
a big
head?
problem. Yeah.
Hitting your head on things?
Oh,
That
yeah.
still works.
That's
We'll
valid.
allow it.
I think
have
more giant than.
I have experience with that, and I know how bad it is.
All right.
Mhm.
Yep.
My heart goes out to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And the final question, believe it or not, and this is important. If you were stranded on a desert island forever with no hope of rescue, who would you rather be stuck with? Emily or Tim?
Oh. Mm.
Ooh.
We've got a lot of really good answers so
Yeah.
far.
Well, I'll say this. Tim is a bigger person, so he would be more food if I
You
needed
would
to eat
eat
him.
more.
That isn't the
Oh.
first time we've gotten that answer. And I agree. I am an excellent food source.
Yeah.
But you did
I'm
say
gonna
that
go
there
with
was
that.
a lot of blubber.
There is blubber, but which would also make tallow
You can-
candles.
You can do stuff with that. Yeah.
I'm going to go with Tim because of that size. If it's cold on the island, you want 98.6 as much as you can get.
Yeah.
Especially me. I don't like being cold.
You win this time.
Man, it's my first sweep. I feel very honored to have been taken for eating and heating purposes. Eating and heating with Tim.
Eating and heating.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming on. It has been a blast having you on. We always go longer than we think we will, but I think that's because we have interesting guests and they always have stuff to say. So thank you so much. I appreciate that you came on so much. I know you're in the middle of your busiest time of the year, and yet you agreed to come on.
Yeah.
And we both completely appreciate that. So thank you.
Well, thanks for having us.
And we'll see you downstairs in the Evergleam
with
Forest.
your awards.
All right.
On my way.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, that was swell.
It's always swell with them too.
Yeah, they are. They're so much fun to talk to. And I'm glad I finally beat you in a sweep, which I think puts me ahead for the year.
Does it?
I'm pretty sure.
We never kept maybe we need to go through.
Maybe.
Because I feel like I'm winning still.
I'm still going to claim victory nonetheless.
I blame my injured appendages.
Sure. Well, I mean, if we had been rolling the whole time, you clearly would.
I mean, because if you had to survive on an island, would you pick the person who can't move very fast right now?
That's a good point. And it's colder outside, so our guests, were more concerned with eating.
Yep.
And staying warm.
Yeah.
Eating and heating.
I'm just gonna go cry.
Well, if I was stuck on a desert island, I'd pick you.
Oh.
You pick yourself. Full blast. Why am I nice ever? All right. Well, that is it for our show today.
Yeah.
And
actually that's it for 2023.
2023. We're going to take a month off and get back at it in January. New guests.
Yep. We won't be on the moon anymore, probably.
Probably not. I mean, there's only so much you can do currently on the moon.
Mm-hmm.
No good restaurants.
No.
It's very boring.
Oh God.
I mean, Quick Trip, but besides Quick Trip.
Quick Trip's pretty awesome, though.
No, I mean, but within a month, I think we'll have eaten everything we want to.
That's true.
Well, it's 2 months, actually. Close to 2 months.
2 months, yeah.
So we'll be back. We're going to move our time slightly to 1 o'clock.
Yep.
When we return.
12 o'clock.
What?
12 o'clock. 12 to 1.
12 to 1.
Yes.
Sorry,
so
12
a little
to 1.
Earlier.
So thank you so much for joining us this year. We've had a blast.
Mm-hmm. It's good to
Too
be back.
bad your dog wanted to take you out of the equation for a while, but now you're back and better than ever.
Yes.
Surgically repaired. So thank you for joining us. Have a great holiday season, whatever you celebrate, and have a great new year. And we'll see you in 2024. So goodbye, everyone. And thank you for joining us this year.